So, if I'm recovering from burnout, why am I making videos every day this last week? It's a fair question because right now I'm signed off work. I'm recovering, I'm resting, trying to understand what's happening. And somehow, yet, I still seem to have the energy to do this, to think, to reflect, to create, to share. So, what's different? Why is it that some work drains us and some work seems to create energy? That same person, same day, same brain, same mind, but different experience. I've been sitting with that question quite a lot recently, not because I think I've found the answer, but because I think the question itself is quite fascinating. So, a family member said something to me just the other day that stopped me in my tracks. He said, find a mission worth the vehicle. The idea was simple. Stop focusing on yourself, focusing on your burnout, and focus on the thing you're trying to serve. The bigger the mission becomes, the less important the vehicle becomes. And honestly, I can see something in that. When we care deeply about something, we often find energy that we didn't know we had. Parents know this, carers know this, and people serving causes larger than themselves know this. I've been there for the last 20, 25 years, even longer during med school as well. I've been on this higher purpose mission of first learning about the human body and disease, and then how do we impact health at scale. And over the last few years, also how helping entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial leaders, and innovators to improve health and well-being at scale through their businesses. I know meaning matters, I know contribution matters, purpose matters, but then I found myself wondering something else. Healthcare is full of purpose, public health full of people with purpose, teaching as well, parenting is full of purpose, yet people burn out doing all these things. So perhaps purpose matters, but perhaps purpose isn't the whole story. So a few weeks ago, after being signed off work, I found myself sitting at home trying to make sense of what's happened. Not from a medical perspective and not from a professional perspective, just as a human being. And one question kept returning. Why does it feel like we're all working so hard, yet often moving so slowly? Why is there so much activity, yet sometimes so little visible progress? If I'm honest, there was frustration in that question. Not because I stopped caring. Quite the opposite. I still care deeply. Perhaps that's exactly why the question matters. So instead of trying to solve it, I decided just to observe it, to slow down, to get curious again, and to notice what I might be missing. And one thing I've started noticing is this: not all effort feels the same. Some effort creates energy. Some effort creates friction. The exhausted executive who comes alive in the garden is where I am right now. The burned out clinician who spends hours helping a friend. The overwhelmed employee who suddenly finds themselves with energy for a side project. You've probably seen it too. Same person, different experience. To me, that's strange. Now, before I go any further, I want to be very clear. So if you're struggling, do seek professional help. Talk to your doctor. Talk to a mental health professional. Sometimes there are underlying conditions. It could be depression, anxiety, sleep disorders, physical health issues. So do get diagnosed. Do get the treatment that you need. Recovery matters. Medication's been part of many people's journey. This isn't an argument against biology, but I don't think biology explains everything. Because I've also noticed something else. Same workload can feel manageable one day and then overwhelming the next. The same meeting can feel productive one day and then unbearable the next. Sometimes nothing external changes, yet the experience changes completely. And for me, that's hard to ignore. One of the biggest insights I've had, not only during this recovery, but over the last few years since my last burnout, is that we don't get experience of life. We don't feel life directly. We experience life through our thinking, moment by moment, through perception, through meaning, through the stories we create. And maybe that's why these videos feel different. Just reflecting on that, the insight that's popping up right now is the same thinking that's led to me burning out because of all the frustration, because of all the memories of the pandemic, because of all the concerns. Now during my recovery from burnout, I'm using that power of thinking to create. And so it's having less capacity, less time to lead to the negative emotions. When I sit down to record one of these reflections, I'm not navigating organizational politics. I'm not wondering whether a meeting should have been an email. I'm not trying to move a large system one tiny step at a time. I'm just exploring. I'm learning. I'm reflecting and then sharing. There's a feeling of alignment there, a feeling that what I'm doing and what I'm thinking are moving in the same direction. And perhaps that's what I've started calling the friction gap. It's the distance between what matters to us and where we're spending our energy. The distance between activity and impact. The distance between caring and contribution. Because modern work is filled with activity. Meetings, emails, reports, processes, updates, approvals. Activity feels productive, but activity and progress aren't the same thing. It's possible to spend an entire day moving and never arrive anywhere. And perhaps that's part of what I've been grieving. Not the work itself, but the distance between effort and impact. The distance between movement and meaning. The distance between caring deeply and feeling able to create change that matters. So when people ask me why these videos don't burn me out, I don't think it's because they're easy. They're definitely not easy to create and edit and then publish. I don't think it's because they require no energy. And I don't think it's because biology suddenly stopped mattering. I think it's because right now they feel aligned. They feel meaningful. They feel honest. And perhaps when friction falls away, a different kind of energy becomes available. It's not unlimited energy, it's not magical energy, it's just clarity of mind, momentum, possibility, hope. Maybe burnout isn't always a shortage of energy. Maybe sometimes it's a shortage of alignment or meaning or impact. I don't quite know 100% yet because I am still exploring, but that's where my curiosity has taken me today. And I'm curious what you've noticed. Have you ever felt exhausted by one thing, yet completely energized by another? What do you think explains the differences? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next reflection.